All right, we've started the recording. When last we left off, Rorik, you had just had a fairly dark request made of you by Edgar Parrington, the current head of the mining cooperative for all intents and purposes. He's technically just a member of the board of directors, and the junior member at that, but he's the one doing things right now. And he had just asked you if you'd be willing to lead his employees, the guards of his caravan, in an attack against the sailors to kill them, and then turn against them and kill those same guards. Does anyone want to give a retelling to bring us to how we came to such a dark moment? Character point is on the table if someone wants to take it.
I know the one part, we finally found out exactly that the zombies had been taking the stuff, so we after a miraculous amount of flashback powers, we were able to figure out that I was controlling the zombies this whole time. Instead of taking all the stuff to this weird laboratory, it was going into a sunken pirate ship that could be later resurrected. But instead, going to the laboratory is a bunch of explosives, if I remember last.
Yes, that is correct. Jackie, are you here?
I am here, but I can't.
Ah, okay. Then we'll get to the rest of your conversation with Edgar in a bit.
Cool, yeah, I'm just driving.
Right on. Alrighty, so the ships are untying and getting underway. I need to know who is on which ship. Obviously, Rorik is on Edgar's ship. And I believe, Barnabas, you wanted to get on the ship that has Jax on it. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so Jax and the proprietor of the casino are on that ship, along with Rorik's, a member of Rorik's circle slash triangle slash rhombus. Let's see. Yeah, Lyria. So those three are on that ship with you, Barnabas. Is anybody else going to be on that ship, or is everybody else staying with Evitala? I'm hearing silence, so I'm going to mark everybody down as being on Evitala's ship.
I'm going to stay wherever it's safe.
So, Celebre?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm saying the doors are my exit strategies. So I'm staying on the ship where I control the doors that we stole.
Well, and here's some great news. You guys have control of 2 doors, so you could pick 2 ships and be able to freely move between them through the doors if you wanted to set that up.
Isn't there a range issue?
I'm sorry, I did not quite understand that.
Is there not a range issue with the door's ability to open to transmit?
That is correct. There is a range issue. The further you guys sail away from Celebre, the shorter the doors will stay open, and eventually they will not open at all. You guys have not yet determined what that point is at which they cease functioning. But you can presume from the behavior of your mining cooperative adversaries and their rapid unloading of the treasure and dumping it over the side, that it will not function all the way to Half-Elven. That at some point, they have calculated, or at least they expect it to fail before they get to their destination.
Does it matter, though, if the treasure is being taken elsewhere?
It does not matter for the purposes of treasure. It does matter for your ability to shift between ships without, swimming.
Yes.
It also matters for your ability to escape back to Celebre. if you decide that you're not going to go with the ship the rest of the way to Half Open.
Well, what's our exit strategy here before we make commitments to going on different ships?
My understanding is the exit strategy is to organize a mutiny.
And
And
the
then the
groundwork
ships
for that
are-
has been well laid.
Yeah, my current exit strategy is a pirate ship.
A long sunken, but perhaps will rise again pirate ship. Do you have that spell memorized?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, as long as it's memorized, you don't have to roll for it when you go to do it.
In that case, I'm happy to go on Jax's ship. I'll help with the mutiny over there.
Okay. I would like to know which ships are going to have the doors on them. Obviously hidden in your own cabins, but available to your team. Talus ship is effortless. She has the captain's cabin. You have the door, one of the doors already set up in there. The other door you could set up somewhere on one of the other ships. You just have to find a place to hide it.
As the elite guard, does Rorik have a private area?
Yes. She would have been bunking with Delia, but Delia is no longer a factor in this particular adventure. Delia is currently encased in stone at the bottom of a pit that has never been fully explored. Technically in the middle of a major city, but so far down as to not be reasonably recoverable with anything less than serious magic.
Well, I think having access to Rorik's ship is most important. Personally.
Okay.
I don't know how we're going to get the door onto her ship, assuming she's okay with that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Throw a tarp over it? Yeah, what is your technique for sneaking it over there? Dasco at this point pretty much has the loyalty of all of the Fishermen's Guild sailors. Really, you just need to avoid the sight of the Mining Cooperative guards and the key Mining Cooperative NPCs.
Could probably just invisible it.
You certainly have experience with invisibility spells.
I could help dress it up like a pirate.
I like your plan better.
The door has a little tricorn hanging off the corner. A little
Can-
like ruffled cuff around the doorknob.
Can we try that just on the off chance that it's actually convincing?
I feel like we might have to have people under a spell for them to believe that.
Also, Dasco still has multiple false doors. Alright, well, let's just go through the list and see what everybody wants to do with their time as the ships are being untied. So, let's start with Ivitala.
I mean, Avatala has heard the suggestion of make the door a pirate ship, and she's already broken out the arts and crafts bit.
Okay.
She's going to need to be convinced off of this now.
Let's see. Chris isn't here. Dasco, what would you like to be doing?
I mean, I was going to hang out with the crew, have a couple of drinks. I'm relatively okay. I think that I've sown the seeds of chaos in the general crew's direction sufficiently, and mostly what I'm going to be doing is listening for information or unrest or any sort of mischief, because I'm looking for a. I haven't made a deal recently, so I'm kind of looking for an opportunity to make a deal with someone. And there's plenty of people on other ships that I really don't like, and so I'm happy to make deals with them.
Okay. Which ship would you like to end up on as the ships separate?
I mean, I'm going to stay on Avatala's ship if possible, because I
Okay.
believe that's the ship where the treasure is going to be, or it needs to be a ship where a significant portion of the treasure is going to be at some point in the future. So I'm going to stay close to my friends,
Okay.
colleagues, we'll say.
At this point, a fair amount of the treasure has been thrown overboard in secret, but yeah, it's on its way to another ship that is currently at the bottom of the ocean, but maybe otherwise. But yeah, Evatala's ship is the safe ship. Evatala is currently trying to organize getting a door over to Edgar's ship. All right. Let's see. Next up is Rorik. We'll get to in a second when we have some time to have a proper conversation. So Barnabas, you're over at Dax's ship. Are you doing anything over there? Just hiding, or planning a Jean Parmesan reveal?
So I'm definitely in disguise. What I'd like to do is kind of keep my ears open for any dissent, conversations of dissent that were kind of sowed by Dasco. I believe those were kind of sowed cross ship, right? Like, wouldn't.
Yeah. So when the ships were unified, Dasco took advantage of that situation and sowed quite a lot of discord across all of the ships. Also, you know what to look for spotting the TIA agents. And there are, yeah, there's at least one per ship, possibly two per ship. So you can signal them or single them out if you want to do any interactions with them.
For now, I'm going to try and plant the seeds of mutiny. So take that dissent to the next level. But I basically want to keep my ears open for any conversations or anyone saying something where I can like kind of butt in and rile people up. But I don't want to do that in front of I forget the name of the organization, the people that hired me to blow up the ships.
The Thordil Intelligence Agency, yeah, the TIA.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, that's reminded me. Would there be a value in the TIA meeting with us and helping us? If, like, Barbas could arrange a meeting between TIA, like, Avatala in her capacity as captain.
Do we want to convince them not to blow up the ships, or what would be the goal there?
Well, yeah, we don't want them to blow up the ships, and but they're also like clearly infiltrated here, and we've infiltrated here, and we both sort of have the same goal of treasure not reach destination. And they probably will not be happy when they hear that they plan to kill all the crew. Although I don't know if we know that yet.
Rourke is still in that meeting. That info has not come out yet.
I mean, the main thing I'm pushing is the you didn't hear it from me, but I think some of these people are aptheid and sympathizers kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's not going to go over well with anyone outside of the mining cooperative.
Yeah. We do have the work set up, so theoretically we could have note for Rourke, I guess.
Just a note. Who are we really pointing their hate towards? Because are they're gonna throw the captains off the ship? Have we've let? I mean, it sounds like Evatala is not a target, but when we say oh, these people are Apthians, how do we know they're not gonna throw any of us off the ship?
We need to basically say that the mining cooperative are Appian sympathizers, which they are.
I mean, I say pretty clearly, so I used to be a member of an organization that you may have heard of before. And, I mean, the way it works is there's people that are Celebrans and then there's people that are against Celebrans, you see. So if all these fishermen suddenly hear that the captain of the mining cooperative, or the mining cooperative captain, is an Apthian sympathizer and is trying to ship weapons or material to Apthis, lots of people are going to get mad. Probably including most of the people that have been hired to protect that guy. They're probably actually going to get real mad.
Yeah, the war with apps, this is a very real hot button topic right now.
I think in our ideal world, we have the crew like Avatala and hate the other two captains and the mine cooperative writ large, which we already have done a bit with the party. And Avatala spends most of her days learning to fish.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, there's many things that I'm gonna want to do while I'm on the boat. But for now, I want to just start planting the seeds of mutiny and target people's hate towards, I guess, the captain and the mining cooperative. And I also kind of want to get Jax targeted as well. So that's kind of my side mission, is having them want to get rid of him as well.
I think you were also looking into why Jax would be there at all.
At this point, I don't know if I am if I'm worried about that so much as I would just love to have him kind of get run over by this mutiny.
Okay. So you continue to support the concepts of mutiny, but you do so in secret, preventing the TIA from knowing that you're the source of that.
Exactly. Also, it looks like we've got Evan here.
It does. What would
Hello.
Remy like to be doing as the ships are being untied, and which ship will Remy end up on?
Are people already going to other ships?
So Evatala is getting a door dressed up as a pirate to take over to try and install it in Rourke's cabin on Edgar's ship, so you guys can transfer between those ships with ease. Barnabas is on the third ship, the one that's currently being captained by Jax. And yeah, other than that, everybody else seems to be staying on Evatala's ship.
So Rorik's on one ship, and then
At least so far, I haven't gotten to Tice's character yet. Yeah, Rorik is on one ship, Barnabas is on another, and Dasco is on the first ship. Evatala is probably going to stay on her own ship. One would presume, but yeah.
I would love to convince the captain that actually I need to be on the other ship with him, and that this ship has such a good crew that they could go captainless, but I don't think that's going to work.
Ships have trouble when there isn't somebody actually giving direction. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I think there is something I would like to do. So, are we? Before I did, are you all going for the mutiny crew commit mutiny plan?
Yep. That is the plan.
Okay. Um, and our plan is to associate the Miners Guild with Apthea, right? Is that what I gather
Aphthis,
from
yes.
Apthis? I mean, yeah. Okay. Um, cool. So, the night of the, I guess we're gonna have to do a flashback to do what I want to do now. The night of the raid on the warehouse, when the Thieves Guild got was going in to get the papers way back in Celebre.
Mm-hmm.
We need to look at the documents and get some course, see if there's any correspondence with Aphthis that we can leave on the ships for the crews to find.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Whose flashback power? This would be a Dasco power, I presume, right? Acquiring things.
Yeah.
All right. So, Dasco. Several days ago, when Rorik was and Duftel were faking a Thieves Guild raid, you were actually moving from guild to guild, fomenting dissent. So I guess on your way between those guilds, you stopped by the warehouse to slip in the side and do something. What would you like to do? There's fire and chaos all around, and Rurik is pretending to help people while secretly taking them out and knocking them unconscious and hiding their unconscious bodies under carts. The pure chaos of the situation is amazing, particularly given that there's no actual threat they're facing.
You know, actually, does what I don't have the timeline pulled up yet. Was Barnabas doing something that night already?
Barnabas was still
Because
pretending to be the
Corlanthian.
Corlantha
Okay.
ambassador, and was involved in the murder of the real Corlantha ambassador on the docks.
Okay, never mind then. Okay, so then yeah, Dasco.
In fact, Dasco and Rurik were like the only people that were not involved in that murder, which would be going on at this very moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good plan. I mean, I have, I can just. So my plan was to just point at like a random pin on the guy's shirt and just claim that it was from Atlas. I don't need things to be true for them to be useful. But I guess
You could also forge the same documents that implicate them. Like it doesn't have to be a flashback.
yeah, I am a master forger.
But if you do want to use the flashback, you could also learn real things as part of it as well.
And it doesn't hurt to have like more evidence that they're involved with Aphthis spread throughout all three boats, just because we need all three boats to go have a mutiny. So,
And it will be your choice as to whether you take that evidence with you or leave it for the Celebran government to find. Because you do the following day turn over all of that that documents carriage to the Thieves Guild.
I see.
I feel like this treasure doesn't leave if it was left for the Celebre government to find.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do. I mean, I did. What rumors did I start? I did start a rumor about maybe Cinder being on one of the ships.
Yep.
Uh,
Now every time somebody lights up a pipe, everybody gets suspicious. Does the air seem a little smoky down in the cabins to you?
okay, so I'll hand in the documents the way that I normally do, but I'd like to just. I didn't really take a look at them before, and if I have the opportunity to kind of peruse what's useful in there. I don't have any sort of special powers that allow me to find out useful things, but in a large pile of documentation.
You don't, but your special power is to acquire things, and so in the scene in which you're acquiring things, many things could happen, as long as it doesn't overtly disrupt the timeline.
Gotcha.
Because you're not actually time traveling. We're just revealing that secretly this was your part of your plan all along because you had
I
this information, right?
Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Okay, so remember the time when I went down and I bought a whole bunch of just random biscuits and random buns, and then told everybody that they were actually buns from Coralon?
Yes.
So on the way back, I saw that there was someone selling absolute junk. Weird absolute junk. And it was mostly like Priest of Kyle, Apthian totems and random crap. It's just a bunch of junk that you'd see in like just the junk market of just like random stuff, you know? And I look at it and I say, wow, that junk is I could probably sell that for a lot. And so I just pick up some random junk. And so I have like a couple of, I don't know, I've got a couple of little totems, totems that were taken from like bone priests or something when they were kicked out, like just some holy symbols and stuff. Because there were Apthians in Celebrate before the whole war started, and they were summarily just ejected, right? And a lot of their stuff was seized. So I just take some of these little totems and things, and I just have those just kind of lying around in my pack.
Okay.
And then what I'm going to do during the party is I'm just going to smuggle those onto the other ship, and put them in discreet but findable places.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and use smuggle to guarantee that works. And so smuggle lets me move stuff over without people seeing it, so they'd only see it when when it's a good time. And then scapegoat to make sure that when they do see it, it really does seem like it belongs to the captain.
Okay. Nice. Clearly by now some people will have found that.
Okay.
Unrest is at a fervor. People are ready to revolt.
Okay, and that's why that's why I'm spreading these rumors. So that I'd already pre-planned it with these little tricks.
All right.
All right.
Then I guess I rest. You took care of it all.
Well done, Remy. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. I do what I can.
Yeah, Jax is probably going to change their plan too, since it sounds like there's already a mutiny happening.
Yeah,
I'm really interested.
You go to spread rumors and end up hearing them instead.
I'm really interested in the mercenaries finding out, and if they do find out, like I'm gonna pull them aside and try and have a conversation with one of them. Obviously, not Jackie's character because, but.
Yeah, and the mercenaries are like the real true mercenary was Delia. Like she was an actual like serious true mercenary. So the rest of the mercenaries that he's got his assistant, Slafan. So that guy's not really a mercenary. He's an employee. You've got the necromancer crowd. which well, I guess there's two of them. You got the two necromancers. The one, the proprietor of the casino, and then you've got Tice's former companion. Proprietor of the casino is not a mercenary in like by trade. He just technically he's a mercenary because he's taking money to do a job right now. But it is not formally part of the mercenary organizational stuff. Tice's guy, though, is. So, Tice's friend, who you guys have bought out, and is technically kind of working for you guys, he's half in on the scam, and believes he's getting an even cut of it. That guy has normal mercenary sensibilities. Let's see, who else does he actually have on his... Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Lady Amelia is actually in somebody's pocket right now, right? And then Lyria is on one of the ships. She is traditional mercenary as well. Jax is not. Jax is a crime lord. He understands mercenary politics, but isn't part of it. So basically, there's two mercenaries that you can talk to.
Okay, yeah, I'm just looking for the so yeah, I just want to be present for the who I think would be the leadership in the event of a...
All of the guards in baggy clothes with the potion of grow big and strong on their belts. Those guys are not mercenaries. Those guys are employees of the mining cooperative. They're part of the trained security force.
Yep.
They came over from Baron.
Okay.
Didn't Rourke fight against Athos?
Rourke fought against the Beatazu incursion.
Oh, okay.
And she's wearing a Beatazu belt, which a Beatazu tail as a belt.
Okay. Rourke's the captain of the guard, right? Pretty much at this point.
Pretty much, yeah. With the disappearance of Delia after you guys stabbed her to death and buried her at the bottom of a pit. Yeah, Rourke is sort of at the moment the top dog of the mercenaries. Technically, like in the hierarchy, technically, if Edgar gives an order, that supersedes anything that she gives. But she's of the soldiers there, probably the most competent. Certainly the most competent without the potions.
Interesting. But if you really wanted intel on mercenaries, Rourke could exchange war stories with people and find out how they feel about different things, or if they have affiliations with other groups.
Yeah, and Rourke may be coming out of that meeting with some very different opinions on how to go about that too. So as soon as Jackie is not driving, because I don't want you to crash a car, we'll advance that subplot there.
That makes sense.
It won't be too much longer.
Yeah, no worries. I just like there's going to be so much going on in it, and I don't want to be a distraction.
I assume I'll maybe need to roll dice as well at a certain point.
Yeah, probably. Not necessarily combat dice, but there'll be it. Yeah, there's more to the conversation than the cliffhanger we left on last week.
So yeah, I'm gonna find the quartermaster and have a conversation with them, and just be like,
on which ship? Because they're separating.
On the on the mining cooperative ship.
Okay, so the one captained by Edgar or the one captained by Jax?
The one captained by Edgar's the one that I had the conversation with. That was
yes. He
one
wanted to pay you to not interfere.
Yeah, the one captained by Edgar, and
okay.
I'm just going to talk to him. I'm going to say, so we're friendly, and I just say, hey, I just wanted to have a conversation with you, maybe in private, and then quietly I take him aside and just say, something's really fishy, and it's not the fishing guild.
All right, now, to be clear, you're doing this as they're disembarking, so you're going to end up staying on that ship?
Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
Can you assist in smuggling it over, and then smuggling a door over, and then leaving it all there? Because if you smuggle a door over there, then that doesn't matter. Your escape is still an option.
Yeah, but it'd be weird then because people would know that I can move between ships somehow. Or I could just pretend that I was... Okay, fair enough.
They'll only know if you can move between ships if they can move between ships to find out you're on both ships.
Excellent point. Okay, so we get a door over there so that I can move between ships. I'm going to stay on that ship, and then I'm going to have a conversation with the quartermaster on that ship and say, something fishy's here. I just want you to know, because this is your crew. I don't want anything bad to happen to them. It's like I've had more relationships with these people than you could possibly know. And I kind of roll up my sleeve so that you can see my Mordekin tattoo. And then I kind of notice that it's showing and look concerned and roll it back down really quickly. Like I didn't mean that to happen. I say, anyway, you take care of yourself. You watch out. People start going missing. That's when you know things are bad things are about to happen. I think there's something really fishy here. Just keep your eye out. And then I'm going to hang out for about a day, and then I'm going to take the door and go to the other ship.
And go missing, yeah.
Correct.
All right. That's a good plan. So now what you guys had to do is got to get that door over there. The current state of smuggling the door over is that the door has been dressed up in a pirate's coat. It's got a pirate tricorn hanging from the corner, and there's the ruffle of a sleeve on the doorknob.
This is totally going to work.
Wait, you're
Captain Door is right.
The plan is to dress a door in clothes and walk it across like it's a person?
This is
Do you have a better plan?
This is taking Weekend at Bernie's to like this whole other level here. It's not even a person at this point. It's an inanimate object. It's amazing.
Avatala is all in on this pirate plan.
For those of you that have skill in stealth, this is probably the opposite of stealth. This is going to attract an incredible amount of attention. You do have some false doors available to pull this off. The crew don't understand what the doors are anyway, so that's not your concern. Your concern is the mining cooperative employees.
Okay. I'll tax my crime again. Okay, so I drape some stuff over the door like a tablecloth. I put some food on it, and then I smuggle it over onto the other ship with a platter of like hams and fruit and stuff like that, and say, hey guys, people brought this over for you. And then before I leave through the door, I just stash it somewhere in the. I stash the table.
Is it like a normal, like one person sized door?
Yep.
So why aren't you just injured and we put you on a cot, which is a door, and we just carry you over to go see their medic because our medic is sick from partying last night?
Yeah, any of those plans work.
Then you don't have to tax anything. We get the door over there.
And the door dresses a pirate.
The door can be dressed as a pirate as well.
Because Avatala is really insistent on that.
And then you just have to act like you have a hangover and need some cure, and the medic can blow you off. It doesn't matter, whatever. I don't, you know.
This is a good plan. Either one of those plans will work. Perhaps it's mysterious which one you use. The only thing that's known for sure is that somehow a pirate costume was involved.
Just, do you want to tax your crime or not? I feel like.
Tax your crime, there's no roll needed. If you do the stretcher plan, there'll be a small roll needed to explain why the stretcher is in such garish and fancy attire.
It was quite the party. That seems as good an excuse as any.
It was quite a party. That is a true statement.
It's up to you, Desco, since you'd be on the door.
Yeah, no worries. I'm. That might be the reason that I'm on the other ship. So I can. Wait. What exactly do I have to be the one on the door?
But you said you wanted to go to the ship. I mean,
I do want to go to the ship.
carry
It's
the
a
door.
reason. It's a reason for me to go to the ship. Yeah. We could
I believe the reason you were working on the door is because the plan up until you started working on the door issue was probably going to fail.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. We could. I mean, I was thinking. I mean, I could help carry the door, and we could take Kristen over. And if we're taking Kristen over on the door, then we're taking anyone we want on the door.
Barnabas is going to a different ship and is already there and is already getting ready to create a revolution.
I say, fair enough. I say, oh, God damn it. And I get on the door. And I imagine some sort of disorder that I have. And then I drink a lot of Ashta so that it's legit that I actually do have something wrong with me.
Ashta, the cause and solution to so many problems. All right.
Avatala is going to make a big show of showing genuine concern for you as well, as a member of her beloved crew.
Okay. Last up, before we get into the crazy stuff with Rourke, is Charles. What are you doing as the ships separate?
I know I'm keeping an eye on the zombie thing. I guess I'll just spend my time in the cabin, sort of like meditating. I was keep a close eye on on any other like necromantic energy around the area, just in case like one of the other necromancers decides to do something funny.
Okay. The zombies have transported over a just crazy amount of precious metals. You are beginning to wonder how well your spell will be able to hold up that much weight, as any normal ship would not be able to stay afloat with this much metal on it. Maybe a particularly large ship, but yeah, this is... gold is heavy. Platinum is even heavier. So yeah, you may need to split things up amongst multiple ships, maybe, or just take it take it in multiple loads. Bring the best stuff, leave the bad stuff behind. But it seems like they're maybe like beginning to approach being halfway done.
Sure, I can potentially get it. I'm gonna have to roll for the second ship currently, or I might be able to memorize it a second time before we have to. But yeah, I guess I'll shift over to the nearest other.
Okay. So they start moving it towards another shipwreck and getting that loaded up, and then yeah, you can either it can be a roll, or if you want to improvise it, or if you want to memorize it, then it won't be a roll. You'll just have to find space in your memory.
Yeah, I think I just have to remove one of my other spells.
Alrighty. And so you do. Alright. What is Jackie's status at the moment?
She just got home, but she went to the restroom.
Okay. Alrighty, I think Barnabas, okay. So the ship's now being separated. The situation is, Barnabas, you're basically alone without backup, but completely disguised on a ship that is imminent to have a revolution. A complete mutiny, as the crew are accusing the captains of being Apthian sympathizers.
All right, so I'd like to find the TIA undercover agents.
All right.
If I can find them.
The ships are sailing in formation so they can signal each other. But otherwise, yeah, you maneuver around. You find a TIA agent. They recognize after a second. It takes them a moment. Your disguises are really good, but eventually they're like, "Oh yeah, that's right. You're my backup."
All right. So I'm sure, as you can tell, things aren't really going to plan here. It's starting to look like we might lose control of the ship. What's your exit? What's your exit plan?
Ready to cut? Well, once the fuses are lit, we've got a boat that we've hidden, and it's a collapsible, so we're going to decollapse it. And I've actually got an Anu waiting in a hidden spot. One of the water barrels isn't. And so together with the Anu and the boat, we'll be able to get ourselves sneakily out of here.
Side note, what's an Anu?
They're frog people. Like the one Troy played in that last adventure.
Ah. What's the purpose of the Anu?
They can breathe underwater.
Interesting. Why do we need an Anu?
To help guide the boat. You and I are going to have to be under it, not in it.
Oh, I see. So, where's the rendezvous point?
We have a ship that left Celebre. It's been shadowing us. We'll meet up with them. It's going to be probably a hard 8 hours of just holding onto the boat to not sink into the water. There's air pockets underneath it once we unfold it. Just keep a good grip on the wood, and when one hand gets tired, switch hands.
All right. Where are we meeting when we get out of here?
Well, I'm going back to Thordil. I don't know about you.
No, I mean, like literally on the ship right now. Like, where's this foldable ship that we're going to use to get out of here?
Just don't worry. I'll bring it out when the time's right. I'm not leaving you behind.
Okay. Where do we meet?
Let's meet up at the bow. Because I expect when the chaos starts that the fastest way for us to get through the chaos is going to be under the ship.
Yeah. And you are aware that there is what appears to be a mutiny underway.
Oh yes, delightful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Is the plan to still blow up the ship?
Yes. Scuttle it and let the treasure sink to the bottom. The charges are placed in roughly the middle of the ship, which should minimize the amount of actual crew fatalities. And then once we're safely on our ship, we will happen upon them and rescue them. They'll spend maybe a day clinging to driftwood. Should be fine.
All right.
And oh, the tales they will tell of all the treasure at the bottom of the sea.
Should be exciting.
Probably would have been better if it had stayed in the Western economy, but, you know, as long as Apthis isn't using it to buy mercenaries, should be fine.
Amen to that. All right. Well, what time should I meet you?
I was thinking we see how this little mutiny goes. I'd like to time it so that as much of the crew is on top deck as possible. Again, I'm not trying to cause casualties if we can avoid it. I just want to shatter the bottom of the ship.
All right. Yeah, sounds like a plan. I agree. It'd be great if we didn't have any unnecessary casualties.
All right.
I'm here.
Hey, okay. We're going to rewind for just a second to your conversation with Edgar. So, in the last session, Edgar had asked you if you would be willing to kill the sailors alongside the mining cooperative soldiers, and then turn and kill the mining cooperative soldiers. And you had said yes. He then goes and pours you a drink. He says, you know, it took me a long time to realize something. When I was very young, I was weak. I am still, in many ways, very weak. Not strong like you. But at the time, I thought that we, the weak, always wanted to be strong, but the strong didn't. They were already strong. Why would they want to be stronger? Took me a long time to realize how wrong I was. That strength and its uses and its desire is, in many ways, universal. It may seem cruel to turn against these employees, but I would like to save as many as possible. I just need to be sure that you're ready for the ones that aren't willing to be saved. You see, they've become quite dependent on magical enhancement. Initially, it was Gaston's little black box that they would touch with their hands and become powerful warriors. In the absence of that, they've taken to the potions that Slifan and I have created for them, which has been fine to a point. But you see, they're almost enslaved to those potions. They can't not function in a fight without them. They really need them. But they don't need to need them. And they're going to get an offer soon. An offer that they really shouldn't refuse. An offer of strength. Those that refuse, those are the ones that I will need you to take out. And I want you to know that you're not under any obligation to accept this offer, but if you want it, I realize, as I have come to realize as an adult, that even though you are strong, you might want to be stronger. He's gauging you for a reaction, trying to predict something in your future. Do you want to mislead him in any way about your intentions?
I'll just say something vague like power belongs to those who can take it.
Okay. He smiles, says, I hope you're ready to take some power, because someone is willing to give it away.
Things are rarely free.
Oh, that I know. This voyage has cost me dearly. Still, our main objective has already been accomplished. It was accomplished the moment we untied and set sail from Celebre. He sort of muses to himself, as a villainous genius mastermind often will, preparing to monologue. Says, if only those fools had known. The real objective was simply to deny the Western economy this wealth as backing for its paper currencies. In the absence of backing, they will have a much harder time managing their mercenary organizations. Cold hard currency was the way that economy functioned. And as we pull out all of the fundamental backings of it, they're going to suffer quite a collapse. Athos never really cared if we got the money to them. Corlanth did, of course. They wanted to use us in one of their little political power plays. And, well, we'll see how much money makes it there. I doubt we'll have enough left after all of the nonsense that's gone on. I mean, Dasco's on that other ship. What's even going on with that? But my side of the deal, my side of the bargain is complete, and soon power will be ours. A much greater power than we had ever dreamed of before Gaston's little fiasco in the mountains.
Quite the power indeed. Your confidence is a privilege. I thank you.
I'm glad that you are proving to be worthy successor to Delia's mantle. When she vanished, it was a real blow to me. I've always relied on having strong allies. Not just powerful allies, but allies with physical strength, the capacity to pick up a sword and push it in the right direction. You do start to notice, like, I mean, you're big, so everyone looks small compared to you, but thinking about it, comparing him to the size of other known objects, actually he's kind of small for a human anyway. Not like halfling small, just, below average.
He's like Silco.
Yeah.
He's a little runt. Got a Napoleon complex.
A little bit, yeah.
I'll let him talk.
Okay. So yeah, that's basically what he revealed. He reveals that his plan was to, in exchange for something that Athos is going to give him, that he believes will give him power, he has taken money out of the Western economy, taken a huge chunk of resources out of the Western economy, and brought it here, where...
We already know that he's talking to some weird kind of Appian mage to hook up with his necromancer, so, we know.
That's right.
And we gotta do everything in our power to stop that meeting, because that's bad.
It probably is very bad.
This guy's a real creep.
He's a real creep. And
who's willing to who literally, I mean, like, he says he trusts me or whatever, but he would just as soon just, if it was convenient for him to get rid of me, he would. And that's true of anybody he aligns himself with.
Yeah, and he's taken on that very dangerous, if you're not with me, you're against me kind of attitude.
Cool. Then it makes the solution quite simple, doesn't it? I'm against you then.
She says, sitting in his office.
I mean, I could probably snap his ass in half if I had the element of surprise, probably. And I would in this case, but there's a lot of people's lives at stake, far beyond the scope of just the people on the ships if he gets this power.
Very true. He is being quite vague about what the power is, unfortunately. So you don't have details on that, but it does have something to do with something Athos is going to give him.
But we do know that he promised this necromancer that we've taken over, that we've turned over. So we do know the nature of the power to some degree.
Something to do with the Bone Tyrant. Something to do probably with bones, because that's kind of his whole thing. All right. You come out on deck to what can only be described as chaos. It seems that Dasco has engineered a mutiny. And the sailors are riled up and are shouting at the guardsmen and calling them Apthian sympathizers. And they look at you as one of them. You haven't broken your disguise at one point. So they are, the sailors are now kind of angry at you, shouting insults, and they look like they're getting small things that they probably consider weapons ready to attack you with.
I raise my arms up and say, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, let's simmer down now. I mean you no harm. I'm willing to cooperate.
He holds
Let's
up
all settle down now.
He holds up an idol of the Apthian Oracle. Says, "We found this under the captain's bed."
I look shocked and try to inject some genuine emotion because I am anti-demon, just generally anti-demon. You know, like it's a true, heartfelt, real emotion that this character has. I'm gonna try and dig into that.
And as far as we know, they're not even wrong.
He's got the wrong totem, but other than that, yeah.
So it's fine, yeah. I was accidentally telling the truth.
Beautiful when that works. I basically ask for parlay.
You are very large, so you may make a vigor check, and you're asking for parlay there. That's a vigor persuasion.
I would like it if my emerging from the door, it's like I've got my one hand grasped on the door frame as I lower my head down to emerge from outside of the door, and I'm in the door when this is happening. So I'm going to come out of the door and use my vigor.
It's like you have to turn sideways to fit your shoulders through the door and then come back out again. Show me that persuasion roll.
Yeah, it's like when I guess it's like when Superman goes and lands at the military base and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here to turn myself in," and they're like, "What?"
Is it vigor and something else?
Persuasion? Unless you have something else you'd like to do other than just ask for parlay.
I do have might, which is a talent.
You do.
And it says any vigor-based test, I can pay one vigor before rolling the test to add my vigor in a number of successes to that roll.
That would be enough for you to automatically succeed this.
I think I will do that then.
Okay. You you bend the door frame under the grip of your palm as you ask for parlay, and it is intimidating. And the sailor's like, "I will hear you out." He takes a few steps back and tries to hide the fact that he was about to draw something that you would probably generously describe as a letter opener. I'm sure he calls it a dagger.
It's a children's stiletto. Baby's first stiletto. Yeah, so I basically try and at this point arrange for Dasco or any of my team members who would be trusted by these people. So it's either Evatal or Dasco in this case.
Okay. Dasco, you were planning to stay on the boat for a day before disappearing, is that correct?
Yeah, just give them enough time.
All right, so you are still on Rorik's boat then when the madness starts to take over the crew. They're getting ready, and then Rorik seems to have paused their attack for a moment.
Okay. So I come out and I say, I just say this one's not your enemy. This is a mercenary from Celebre. They do what they're paid to do. But they're just doing their job, just like we are, you know? From the perspective of Celebre, we're all traders. If just doing your job as a trader, I mean, we sailed those guys all the way out here. Now, and I look very sternly at Jackie's character and I say, now, there's a difference between doing your job when you don't know that it's against king and country, and doing your job when you do know that it's against king and country. And I look over at the if there's any mining cooperative guards nearby, and then I say, and I roll up my sleeve, and then I just say, I know a lot about this, but if, and then I look at Jackie's character to say, if you're with us, then you're with us.
Not only am I with you, but I have very important and dire information that needs to be distributed among the sailors of these fine crew.
Well, I look around and I say, well, who's in charge here? Who's in charge here?
They'll look at you, bro.
Yeah, the sailors definitely think you're in charge. You're their favorite.
I say, I'm just a merchant. I'm just a merchant. As far as I know, like, I mean, if I took charge, like, I might just end up missing tomorrow. Who knows? So,
Well, in that case, I say,
then I go speak with the. I say, where's your quartermaster? He's the one in charge of the crew.
Quartermaster comes out, recognizes you, of course.
I say, dire news, friend. Dire news. We should have a council with this fine mercenary. Just make sure that we're all on the same page about what needs to be done.
So he shouts at the crews, "Council is called!" And of course they have their sailors' tradition protocol for this. So they drag over some barrels and they stand in a circle, trying to stand tight enough that the people in the middle couldn't escape if they wanted to. And then, you're just another sailor there with them as far as they're concerned. So they're not concerned about you, but they are concerned about the quartermaster, the one who was calling the accusation against Edgar and Rourke. So those four are in the middle of the circle, sitting on stools with a barrel in front of them and barrels to the sides of them for them to just put their mugs of drink on and have a conversation. Meanwhile, on Evatala's ship, Evatala, your crew has rebelled, but not against you. They rebelled against the soldiers. They basically just knock on your door, and you see that they've tied up all of the mining cooperative soldiers. I said that they were Appian conspirators, my captain. We caught them.
I just let my face completely fall in shock. And then with as much anger as I could muster, and I'm a performer, I can muster a lot of anger, I just mutter the word Appians as deep as I can. The ones in the back actually can't hear it because I'm so trying to be so furious.
I was really hoping for more like a God kind
I'm
of
not
situation.
done. I'm not done.
Ooh, it's building up. Let me get my popcorn.
And then I imagine I'm saying at a desk. I push back, stand up as fast as I can, draw the wrench, and turn to whoever is first there and says, "Lead me to him." They're tied up, right?
Yeah, they're tied up.
All right.
And they look
Did they
pretty,
drive?
they don't look beat up, they look sick.
Sick is it
Dope
magic
sick.
word?
Their withdrawal.
Withdrawal.
That's my guess. That's my assumption.
Okay.
Or they're hungover. It's option B. There was a huge party.
Their skin's not quite the right color, and there don't appear to be any bruises. So it doesn't look like the crew was wailing on them. It looks like the crew came upon them in a bad state. That's what it looks like. Yeah.
I check their bonds to make sure that they are secure. These are sailors; they better be.
Oh yeah. These are not ropes you're getting out of.
Yeah, and I pace in front of them, look them up and down, silence. Then as I turn to my crew and go, "Friends, we've been through a lot together. This has been, to this point, nearly one of the best voyages. But at my heart, I am a Celebrid. And in these difficult times, I must stand up for Celebrid. And I trust that every one of you would do the same. So if you say these men are Aphthians, or at least Aphthian sympathizers, have no mercy. Have no mercy on them. Have no mercy on the other crews, or the other members.
All right. I need everyone on Avatala's ship to make an investigation check. Let me know what stat you're using along with your investigation.
Please don't let them kill me. Not that they could do it easily, but I would rather not kill.
Oh, you're
innocent
on a different
sailors.
ship. You're not. Yeah.
You're on a different ship.
I got you, fam. You're all right.
Our goal is to secure this ship and then get over. All right. So investigation, you said.
Yes.
Go and say investigation plus empathy because I want to see what everybody's thinking.
Okay.
I rolled one success. Come on, Remy.
Investigation focus then, if I'm there.
Okay. I'm using cunning.
I'm using
Okay.
focus. I got 6 successes.
Remy, you notice that the tied up mining cooperative soldiers, they all have flasks at their belt, and all the flasks are open, and appear to be empty. They've drunk whatever their potion was that they had in there. Tice, Charles notices that when it seems like everyone else is surging to attack, and the boat is mostly unattended, that a pair of dwarves have snuck off and headed to the 2 carts that are in the middeck. So they're heading down to where those 2 carts are.
I'll inform the group through our voice chat about it. And I'll follow, and I'll go behind the dwarves.
Aren't you glad you refreshed that last session?
Yeah. I assume we've been told what the plan was by Barnabas.
Barnabas, did you reveal what the TIA's plan was to the party?
Yes. I forgot we had our voice comms up, so definitely Barnabas would have relayed the TIA's escape plan.
So their plan is to blow up the bottom of the boat with explosives that you guys have previously witnessed. They've been hiding in the empty carts that the mining cooperatives are pretending have all the treasure in them. And then they're going to get in little escape boats that can that you can hang on to the bottom from, and otherwise just kind of look like driftwood. They're almost submarines, these little boats. They've got an air pocket so you can breathe.
Well, if we were told about that, and we know where it is, Avatala would like to have gone and made sure that they don't explode on her ship.
The flasks, those are the ones that make them Hulk out, right?
Yes. Their flasks seem to be empty, as though they tried to Hulk out to defend themselves when the pirates came for or not the pirate, the sailors came for them. And the sailors appear to have had an effortless time containing them.
Okay, can Can I do a flashback? Can I
Yes.
flashback myself to the party on the ships?
Yeah. What are you going to be doing?
I want to pickpocket those flasks. So whatever happened to them, they're empty because I emptied them. I believe I was just resting during the party.
Don't empty them. Just replace them with my Ashta or something. That'd be great.
Okay, then yeah.
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
I would do that instead. Yeah.
Okay. For you're doing this for which ones? Just any two of them, or
How many of them do they tie up on our ship?
7? There's 7 per ship.
7 of them per ship.
There were supposed to be 8, but a bunch of them got eaten by a monster in a previous session. And blown to smithereens. That's right. There's only 6 left per ship.
That makes 18 total,
So
right?
18 total.
Yes, out of the original 24.
Gotcha. All right. God, how many can I get in a night? How many times I can tax pickpocket? Yeah, I mean, my goal will be to get as many as possible. So,
So your specific flashback power mostly applies to other characters,
other
but you can go
people,
along
yeah.
for the ride.
Yes, that's why I was asking if I could flash myself back.
You could easily use a Dasco flashback to and go back with him to use your skills in that endeavor.
Okay.
Especially since it's Dasco's Ashta, you want to make
Ashta.
use of. Yeah.
All right.
Because you could be smuggling that at the same time that he's planting the totems.
Yep. All right. Yeah. How many times are you taxing your instant no rolls needed steel?
Well, I guess I'll tax all 4 of them.
All right. You have saved 4 of these guys from whatever was in that potion and replaced it with them being drunk. So 4 of them are drunk, and the rest of them look sick. The other 2, I guess. So, yeah.
All right.
And now we can deal with the dwarves.
And also, you have whatever those potions are.
Yeah. Well, we would have had some like warning, right? From Barnabas.
Unless these guys are taking the opportunity of the fact that everyone on board is distracted.
Well, yeah, but we could have theoretically have done something before, if we're going to say that Barnabas let us know after the meeting.
Barnabas found out about it very recently.
Oh, very recently. Okay.
So Barnabas knew that they had a plan to destroy the ship. You guys have known that all along. But Barnabas found out very recently, like after the ships were untied. Barnabas found out. So the ships were untied. Barnabas spent some time spreading rumors, then found the TIA agent, found out what their plan is, and then everything started going to hell. So you guys are basically just finding out about this as the mutiny is starting. That their specific plan is blow up the middle of the ship to sink it, escape in some kind of improvised device they've hidden.
Well,
and they have specially trained, like, Special Ops Anu hidden in water barrels, apparently.
we need to keep our ship up, at least. I think that's very important. Well, at least it is very important. She'd like to have all 3, but she particularly wants this one. So...
Because their intention is to not hurt anybody if they can get away with it. The fact that you have everybody gathered up at the ship to beat the hell out of the mining cooperative guys is a perfect opportunity. Below decks would be pretty much empty. They can break the ship without actually killing anyone. Because of all the organizations involved in this, they're the closest thing to resembling good guys. Them and the sailors, actually. The sailors are very much innocent in this whole endeavor.
We're working to return the wealth of the West back to the West.
You are. Very specifically, your pocket in the West.
Yeah. Alright. Does Charles let Avatala know that this is happening? Because I have an idea if Avatala knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said I was mentioning it and then I was heading down.
Cool. She's going to after doing her sleeper thing, as soon as she hears that in her head, she's going to immediately go to, okay, first things first. There are explosives headed below deck. We need to get down there. We need to disarm them. They have probably been lit. They are lit automatically on a panic button that these guards probably have pressed. I don't have time to explain, but they're down there and we need to go to them. I know where they are. Because I assume I've been told. Yeah. Mid-deck. Alright. So, I would like to not lead everybody there, but I'd like to lead, the most likely to get a successful disarm of a lit fuse there from the crew / us.
Okay. So, at the very least, you and Charles arrive there.
I will go as well.
All right. Yeah. So the three of you arrive there. In time to witness, there's two dwarves. They're one at each cart. They're fiddling with some kind of timing mechanism and shouting to each other. In Thordil has its own language, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're saying something to each other in Thordilese. If any of you is multilingual or dwarf, I can tell you what they're saying.
Christian is a dwarf, right?
Is Charles not
yes.
dwarf?
Christian is not there.
No.
Charles is a gnome. Actually, it's quite reasonable for Charles to know the language. So they're arguing about what to set the time at. One of them wants to set it for 2 minutes. The other one wants to set it for 5 minutes. Of course, you guys arriving may solve that argument for them.
Alright. And just tell them to stop.
Halt! I'm on your side. This treasure reaches at this over my dead body.
Okay, so they stop. They hold up their hands like, just so you know, we have no quarrel with you, but we are willing to blow ourselves up to make sure this mission succeeds.
The mission's already succeeded. You do not need to blow us up.
All right, persuasion, and if you give a good speech here, you can get some pips for that. Go ahead.
I'm on your side. I am a celebrant. We hate Athos as much as you do. You don't need to blow us up. We have this under control. We're going to take over these ships, and we're going to make sure that this treasure goes nowhere, anywhere close to Athos. Nowhere close to the east. It's going straight back into the Western economy.
That is exactly the kind of things that they want to hear. So it's all about being believable now. Take 6 pips from that speech, and make your roll.
That's a nice chunk of pips.
You got this.
Persuasion plus, I'm definitely empathy here.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing matters more than they're believing you right now.
Woo!
nailed it to the wall. They're like, she does have the mining cooperative pretty much handled up there. It's like, all right, the other ships should go down shortly. We'll want to switch over to rescuing crew at that point.
All right. I go silent for a quick while I guess communicate, get everybody to rush away from these explosives. Because I want to save as much of the crew as possible.
Is your ship set to blow as well?
Our ship is now no longer in danger, I think.
Yes, the dwarves deactivate the explosives.
Can you guys signal your other crews?
They said no. Each of us was an independent unit. One of them has Barnabas helping, though.
All right. We need.
Yeah,
Barnabas,
I can help get people above deck.
Well,
That's the plan, right?
Well, if you can convince, are we still blowing up the ships?
So what's going on the other two ships? Let's go over to Barnabas's ship. So right now, Barnabas, the crew on your ship is starting to try to form a sort of a mutiny. They're hearing some noises from the other ships, and they're starting to think that maybe there's mutinies going on over there too. So a big group of them is gathering together to tromp up to Jax and force Jax to give up control of the ship.
Excellent. How far away are we from land?
About 2 days at this point.
All right, cool. That's 2 ship days.
2 days sailing by ship, yes.
Yes, yes.
That would not be 2 days paddling a canoe.
Great. I'm going to try and rile up everyone to throw Jax overboard.
Okay, that's pretty much what they were getting riled up to do.
Excellent. Well, I will add to that as much as I can.
Are you going to reveal to Jax that it's you?
Oh, basically right as he's falling off of the ship, as he's falling down face up. I'll wait until the last moment, then I'll take off my disguise and wink at him.
He sees you, and as he's falling into the water, he says, "Where is it? What did you do with it?" Referring to the object that you stole. What was that object?
I am pretty certain it was some sort of truth amulet sort of thing where you could get information from people. I kept it in my inventory.
And you still have it on you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess I can hold it, in my hand and swing it in the air as he falls into the ocean.
As soon as he sees it, his eyes light up, and he lands on what appears to be another ship rising up out of the waves. Some kind of submersible. He holds his hand up, and with some kind of magical spell, rips the amulet out of... Was it an amulet? What was it?
Yeah, it was an amulet.
Rips the amulet out of your hands and over to his, and then begins walking down the ship. The other people being thrown overboard are swimming over to it. This submersible begins turning towards the second ship in the fleet. So not Talus, but the one that has Edgar on it.
I'm going to communicate that to Rorik.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry.
I mean, it's a ship rising from the ocean. I'm pretty sure it's visible.
You probably see this already, but there is a ship rising from the ocean headed right for you.
Duly noted then.
Just to paint the scene for everyone, it's early afternoon. There's plenty of light out. This isn't hidden by shadow or of night or anything. You're not fighting by starlight. This is a bright and sunny day. Everything is easy to spot. And yes, a ship has risen out of the water. It is some kind of submersible. It has what appears to be elven writing on the sides of it, some kind of like glowing runes. One of the main symbols dominant on the ship is a large eye. And it has picked up the senior staff from Jax's ship, along with the truth amulet. And and they're now proceeding towards Edgar's ship. Rurik, you are in this sort of circle on Edgar's ship with Edgar, and you're talking to the quartermaster and an enraged seaman who's referring to the to you both as Athians. Yeah. Less so you. He's heard Dasko's speech. There's quite a commotion going on behind you, and your whisper spell has a lot of confusing crosstalk on it right now.
Okay. So the quartermaster's yelling at us?
The quartermaster. Well, no, the quartermaster is trying to mediate. So one of the members of the crew is accusing Edgar of being an Apthian, or being an Apthian sympathizer. And the quartermaster is trying to keep this as a discussion of the crew. The crew is around in a very tight circle, so you guys can't escape, or that's their intention. You know quite well that you could escape by plowing right through them.
Yeah, I can just barrel through them.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do that though.
And there's a lot of additional commotion going on that you can't see through the crowd. It sounds like there's revolutions happening on both of the other ships.
Okay. What am I supposed to do for the team? Like, what does the team want me to do? I mean, I am hearing comms, right?
Yes.
Like,
you are on comms. It's a little tricky to pay attention to both comms and the current discussion happening. So if you just ignore that discussion, you can pick up on what's going on comms.
I think for now, I mean, I'm just a goon, so I'm gonna let them kind of like hash it out really quick while I catch up on that. But mostly, once I do that, I'm gonna try and distance myself from Edgar.
All right. What you catch up on is that a submersible has risen out of the ocean, and that the senior staff from Jax's ship have boarded it. Jax's ship is otherwise now under crew control. Barnabas, you start getting messages that you need to evacuate that ship because it's going to explode. At least get people to the upper decks.
Yeah.
Or if you could get your gnomes to repurpose their explosives because the treasure is on the submarine.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I think I'm going to go try and find the TIA agents, or specifically I'm going to go down to where the explosives are to try and intercept and let them know that the treasure is actually on another ship that just emerged from the ocean.
Okay. Because you got the information late, and because you were doing another thing on top deck at the time, this is going to be an athletics check to see if you can get down there in time. You need 3 successes.
Well, good thing I am not at all athletic. Let's see. Okay.
What stat would you like to pair with athletics?
I guess cunning is my only shot.
I would love to hear how you're able to use cunning to move faster through a ship. I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just saying I would love to hear it.
Yeah, so I'm thinking what I'll do is, like, I see some sort of rope hanging over the side of the ship, and I can, like, use it to, like, rappel down to, like, a window in the lower deck or something like that.
She's gonna Robin Hood that shit, like swing from a
She's
chandelier.
Doing the Sea of Thieves ladder trick.
Exactly. Oh,
all right, that is cunning. Go ahead and roll. I'm catching up on all the memes you guys put up there.
Not going to be fast enough.
You are not fast enough. You swing down to the window, and just in time to get blasted out into the water as the explosion rocks the lower decks and begins sinking the ship.
All right, then.
You shortly find your ankle gripped by a hand that pulls you along the surface of the water to a piece of debris, and you find a friendly Anu. The skin is the color of water until he's on the plank that he's dragged you to, at which point he becomes the color of wood.
Excellent. Are there any TIA agents with?
Yes. They're swimming out to join you.
Is the ship that Rorik on set to explode as well?
No.
Yes.
Oh, never mind. I'm
All
on a
three.
different ship. Yeah.
I'm gonna communicate to the TIA agents that the treasure has been diverted to that ship that just emerged from the ocean. That if they have the ability to communicate, they should cease their explosion operation and try and figure out how to explode the other ship. I don't know how
They
they're
look
gonna
at
pull
each
that off.
other and there's just an oh shit kind of moment for them. It's like we can't communicate. The whole
Alright.
point was to be undercover individual cells.
How do we feel about leading the dwarves on my ship through to the other ship on the through the doors?
You do have a door set up on Rorik's ship.
That would be smart. Is Dasco still over there?
Yes.
Yep.
And Dasco, you are not you're not confined by the crowd. You're just another sailor to them. You're a beloved sailor, but you're not part of this whole improvised trial that's going on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna help them come to the right conclusions. But I mean, mostly, I think what's gonna happen is I'm gonna get them to let Jackie speak, and hopefully she'll tell the truth. I'm gonna assume she's lying because what she's gonna say is ridiculous and insane. But
Okay, so you're going to participate in that instead of trying to stop the explosion.
I guess the Whisper Network means that I'm fully aware that there's an explosion.
Fully
right?
aware.
Yeah.
It's not going to kill anybody if everybody's up here participating in this thing. This is an ideal situation for there to be no casualties. It will sink the ship, but everybody will be okay. They'll just have to sit on driftwood until they're rescued.
How much money is on this ship? In my estimation.
Little to none. Well, actually, no, that's not true. There's some. It's not exactly fake treasure. It's just of amounts that are considered insignificant given the hugeness of what you guys are pursuing. But there are some chests of treasure that were meant to be scattered to the bottom to give future divers looking for treasure false hope. So there's a few boxes of gold coins and stuff.
Okay, so not a lot of treasure.
Not a lot. Not nearly what you guys are pursuing.
How much time do I have?
Somewhere between minutes and seconds.
Okay.
Avatala is in your ear screaming to stop the explosion.
Desco's not one to stop the explosion. I was considering whether I had enough time to go down there and fill my pockets with stuff in the chests. Because I don't really care too much about the ship. There's really not much on there.
Right.
Oh, Tasco. That's so good. Okay. So the ship is rocked with an explosion, and at the same time, the crowd parts, but not of their own will. It looks like they're being sort of bent out of place by magical forces. In the hole that the gap in the crowd creates, you can see that there is a submersible ship that has come up, and standing on its bow is a character that you guys have not met, wearing dark black robes and holding their hand out as though they're the ones that have just parted the sea of bodies.
Oh, this must be the fucking mage.
Bone guy.
Yeah,
With the bone.
it looks very much like he's just using bone kinesis to just move people's bones to get them out of the way. Edgar stands up and begins walking towards the edge of the ship as though to jump off and board.
Let it be known that completely unintentionally, I am currently still tipsy on Ashta right now.
Which means you are unaffected by the
Correct.
magic. As are 4 of the soldiers over on Talus ship. Although they're also incapacitated by the Ashta they drank because they thought it was a strength potion.
I mean, it was after a fashion, right?
Different kind of strength. It was a strong potion.
Are only those 4 unaffected?
Yeah, the other 2 seem to be dying of some kind of poison. The only conclusion you can come to is that at some point Edgar and Slafan swapped the mixture they were using for their strength potion. So the 6 guards that are on Edgar's ship, as Edgar hops off the side of the now slightly tilting and sinking ship, he beckons them to come and says, "Come with me, and great strength will be yours, and you'll never have to drink those potions again. If you do not, then try to face me, and see what happens." A few of them are pretty upset seeing what is blatantly an Apthian priest, and are reaching for the potions on their belts, getting ready to try and engage. Rourke, what are you doing?
How far am I from the mage?
So
am I like a league away? Like, am I not? Is it not? I can't just punch him.
It would be an epic flying leap. It is a bone mage that has bone kinesis. You're not sure your leap would complete.
I also don't know if my bones would stay in my body.
You do not.
So he's offering the power, blah, blah.
He's offering power and freedom from the potions to his guards, and beckoning for them to come, but also challenging those that don't come. He seems to be trying to tempt them to drink the potions, if they're not going to join him. And it looks like 3 of them are about to take that route. They're going to drink the potions and try to engage.
I'll just scream something like, "He's a fucking bone priest! He'll rip your guts out!"
They find wisdom in that and back down. 2 of them decide to go with him, and they hop off and join Edgar. The other 4 stay on your ship, but they let their hands go slack, and they don't pick up their potion. And if no one else does anything, then Edgar and the priests, Edgar the priest and all of his minions, and Slafan, who just suddenly appears there, no one's entirely sure where he's been this time, they descend below decks, and the ship submerses under the waves.
They abscond.
They abscond!
How do we feel before this happens about ramming speed?
We only have 1 ship.
We do only have 1 ship. That's
Yes.
For now.
But,
I think, Charles, this may be
one.
your time to shine.
yeah. We still
Where are
have
they?
that shield, don't we?
We have Navy SEAL frogs, right?
Yeah, so if you guys don't have anything to do immediately in that moment, then you can start to gather your resources together, rescue people onto the one ship you've got. And it turns out you've got more than just some Navy SEAL frogs. So if that's the route you want to go, we can talk about the cool stuff that the dwarves had hidden on those ships.
But yeah, so the submarine's turn to leave, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I guess I'll go to the I'll go onto the deck and I will start casting those spells to raise the ships.
Okay. You do so because they're memorized, right?
Yes.
All right, so there's no roll needed. Two ghosts, well, not even ghosts, they're ships that are just reassembling themselves with necrotic animation.
They are corporeal.
Fully corporeal ships held together by necromantic energy, fed by their own decay. So the power of their decaying planks is now raising them out of the oceans, and they are loaded with most of the treasure you guys were after.
Oh, wait, we're loaded. We're raising the treasure ships right now.
These are pirate ships, so they potentially have cannons on them. So I'm going to be unloading them into the submarines.
They have to be. Do they need to be manned? Do you have a skelly crew to fire?
The skeleton crew
Yes,
would be
I do
the
have a
worst
skeleton
crew.
crew.
Worst crew for this situation.
Actually, yeah, you're right. You have a very valid point. They're made of bones.
The skeleton crew is made of bones. However, a technicality with this spell is that this was the version of the spell he chose where the ship did not need a crew. Its rigging would operate itself.
Oh, nice.
Tight.
Does
Get
that extend
fucked, other
to
necromancers.
cannons, though?
Tight.
Yeah. The ship does have some limited offensive capability, but it's not. Cannons are a bit much. What this ship has is it has ballista.
I guess a ballista will do then.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you fire some ballista into the water, they splash about. Pulling together your fleet now consists of 2 animated ships, 1 actual ship, enough crew to fully crew 3 ships if you need to. An Anu Special Forces assault team, some Dwarven operatives, and some really cool Dwarven tech. So it looks like what they had described as the planks that you guys would escape on is actually this very clever, unfoldable, personal submersible that can have about 4 people, and they've got 3 of them, so you could get a total of 12 people underwater and 2 places that are either underwater or just sneak around under the water without having to come to the surface.
It's a personal underwater submersible.
Yep, and its power source is an Anu pulling it. There's 3 of them. Each one can hold 4 people plus the Anu pulling it.
So Avatal is in a genuine rage at this point. There's no acting going on here.
So do all these people know that we have all the treasure now?
Actually, these people, unless you let them onto your other 2 ships, they have no idea that there even was treasure. I guess they figured there was treasure, yeah. Okay, so they think the treasure sunk to the bottom of the ocean. That's actually what they think.
Yeah. So, my understanding is that all I promise is that this treasure goes back into the Western economy, to the dwarves and agents. I still say that because those ships will operate themselves, we don't need to crew them yet.
Okay.
Since the enemy is absconding, we're actually not in direct combat, so all we have to do is perform rescue at this point.
We can perform rescue, but I don't know about you. Avatar's not going to rest until every single one of those people that escaped are corpses in their own right.
They have a submarine.
You guys have
Like
3 little baby submarines.
Yeah, but they have a real one.
They're a
Yeah,
real
we
one.
can't. We can't. I'm sorry, we cannot board a ship with an
As far as I
Appian
can
bone
tell, you're
priest
telling
with 3 tiny submarines.
Yeah, as far as you're telling me that we have a tiny submarine that's pulled by like a Kappa monster, basically, like the chameleon Kappa monster, some shit, and like
You'll never catch up with them, but
yeah,
you do know where they're going.
Yeah.
Do we
Uh,
need to go with them? Does it matter if they get
I mean-
away?
A
Well,
quick
I think
check
Are
of the
you
treasure
cool?
shows that you guys have most of it. What you're missing is you don't have, for some reason, of the stuff that the zombies pulled over, none of it contained any of the Petrish parts, and none of it contained any of the Bennington gun and rifle and cannon barrels.
We need to stop it. We
Dasco shrugs.
It's the stuff that
Um,
Dasco didn't care about.
Dasco, I will leave you in the water.
I'm really curious though because this is such an interesting bit of characterization, right? Because like the job is done. All we need to do is live now.
All you have to do is walk away.
Yeah. So currently, it's like basically before I set off I turn off the I just like go with the zombies and let them just do whatever they want. I guess I'll just let them turn on the explosives on the base.
Wait, what?
What? No.
What are we playing?
Listen, wait. There is a secret base that our enemies have been trying to get the zombies to deliver the treasure to.
Oh, that one.
Heist has
Okay.
been redirecting explosives to that base.
That is
I
correct.
gotcha.
So that's where they're going. I presume.
Yes.
Yes.
Also, okay. Plan. Okay, plan. Okay. They won't get away. They're going exactly where they need to go. And you, Avatala, why don't you get yourself a dead fishy and just hang out with your dead fish eyes and wait for them to fucking show up. Give Tice the signal to detonate. Bob your uncle. Make sure they get out of the sub. Make sure they get out of the submarine, and then blow them up.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you guys have a solid plan.
Avatala barely listens to your plan because she's in such a blind rage.
I clasp your shoulder. I clasp your shoulder. You know, real butch.
Avatala falls to the ground.
Shoulder clasp. It's not that hard. It's firm but reassuring.
So the serious question here is, do you guys walk away with the treasure? Is this the last session, or will there be one more session where you get your revenge?
I'm currently
And
getting
possibly
up on,
save the West from something horrible.
I'm currently climbing up onto my pirate ship.
So personally, just for me personally, I think the most enjoyable thing would be for this group of absolutely bad people to do something very good for the realm. Because on the one hand, at least for my character, like she has basically spent her entire adult life fighting demons. So she's invested in not having the Appians gain power or territory. Because that gets in the way of her having a nice fucking domestic life, okay?
What you do with your shares up to you.
Your girlfriend's still stuck in a stone.
I know. I'm not happy about it.
What? Oof. Avatala is just so upset that the ending that she wanted is denied to her. And also, she still wants that Bennington. And she is not going to stop until she gets it. So she's all on board on Revenge Plan.
I like Revenge Plan too.
Well, whoever wants to get on the pirate ships, and come with me to start diversifying our assets.
Without Tice, you guys are not going to be able to detonate the explosives. You're gonna have to convince Charles to stay with you. Unless you have another plan. Unless you want to go in there in person.
The
Here's
thing is
I
that
don't
we
mind.
can't catch them.
Charles-
They will arrive
Charles.
before we...
Charles, if we don't have them, if we don't take care of them with this explosive plan, they will get there. They will realize that they've been tricked, and they will hunt us to the end of the earth.
Desco shrugs. Says, but we'll be rich though.
Dasco, you're still in the water. I will leave you there.
I will wait until they get their submarine, their precious little submarine there. Once they get there and they do that, I will detonate. But then I'm taking these two ships, and I'm going to be going away with whoever wants to be part of it. Because if I go down, then our stuff goes down.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, let's put a plan into action to move some of the treasure onto the ship that is not controlled by a single point of failure.
The reason that there are currently 2 ships is because the treasure was so heavy that it wasn't going to be able to raise it just one.
Yeah, I figured that was the issue. The sheer volume of treasure.
Yeah. But if we put some onto our actual ship, and then some onto the ghost ships, we don't have a single point of failure.
The issue is the amount of treasure that we have to move makes it incredibly obvious to everyone around that we have a fuckload of treasure.
Well, yes, I don't see the problem with that.
I see a huge problem with that. I want to retire
I
quietly.
should say, Avatala does not see a problem with that.
You're so rich. It's flabbergasting.
As you guys have this mental conversation through your magical comm system, periodically other sailors come by and pat you on the shoulder and be like, "It's all right, man. I know this is tough. You'll get through it." Because you guys are basically staring into space.
And yeah, if Ed's character wants to get out of the water and come onto my ship, one of my ships, he can.
I mean, their plan was to collapse the Celebran economy somehow, something, and then they took a bunch of weapons grade materials off to somewhere, which we're going to have to deal with at some point. Someone's going to have to deal with it at some point. But we're not exactly in a position of strength here.
I mean, we're in a decent position of strength. They're going to an explosive trap that we have set for them to explode.
Fair enough.
I said I will wait until they get in there, and then I will set it off, and then I'm going to be sailing away on these ships. The survivors can take the other ship and go wherever they want to.
Dasko, you do have plenty of Ashta if you want to make everyone immune to the bone magic.
I sigh and I say, I've got a stockpile of Ashta if you guys are interested.
All right. Well, we'll pick up next session with whatever your ingenious plan is to either leave with the treasure or execute your revenge here, and perhaps rescue the West from whatever this guy was going to do with a mixture of Apthian bone magic, Petrish parts, and Bennington steel.
It's bad. It's really bad. It's probably really bad, guys. The issue is that if we don't deal with it, we're just dealing with it later.
I know
we're just going to deal with it later.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. The full list is Bennington parts, or Bennington steel cannon barrels, Petrish parts, a bone mage, an amulet of truth-telling, and a necromancer that specializes in transferring souls into physical objects. Yeah, that's the list of five ingredients in this danger.
They're like making a fucked up Voltron.
Wait a second, transfer souls. So they could maybe make transfer souls into the what are they called? the robots.
The robot bodies, which are basically
Yeah.
impervious to damage.
The Petrish
Yeah.
have never had Bennington weaponry before.
It's real bad. It's real bad.
If he's finding a way to put his soul into a Petrish frame that's outfitted with Bennington cannons, he will be a dangerous motherfucker.
Yeah, it's like fucking Terminator, bro.
We need to make sure that they explode before anything can happen.
This guy definitely needs to die.
And you remember his
Can I
whole
use a
speech about wanting
flashback
power,
power
right?
where I just shank him right where in that little huddle of people I just... Listen, I thought it was a bad idea because I didn't want shit to pop off, but like I was right next to him, completely surrounded by people who were accusing both of us of being fucking traitors. I could have ganked him right there.
If you'd like to
And it-
tax your flashback power to try, I'll tell you what happens.
No. You said try, and that makes me upset.
He said try, and I'll tell you what happens.
I'm very strong.
Nah,
Strong hitting.
you can roll some dice.
Can I make an impassioned? Can I use my leadership to tell them that this guy was going to kill them all?
You guys actually did rescue some of the mining cooperative soldiers. So there's the 4 that you've swapped out their poisoned potions for Ashta. There's the 4 who were convinced not to drink their potions and engage. Yeah, the rest are dead though.
Hey, we saved a third of them.
Yep.
I technically saved a few of them.
2 of them are also still alive, but working with your enemies.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Not exactly saved. Probably not saved at all.
This is going to be very hard, guys.
Evatal is so upset that she has half a mind to just murder these people as they come off the ship. Just to let out the rage.
So I don't think it's that difficult to sail into the sunset.
No, but the ending where our other characters don't have to deal with this problem is the...
My character really doesn't. Well, so it's complicated because my character really doesn't, like, my traits basically indicate that I really don't care about this stuff, and basically I just want to take the money and leave because we're done. This is somebody else's problem now. That's my life, basically. But I'm also a Mordekan, and when I was a Mordekan, I really did care about this shit. Like, that was the entire existence for being a giant bandit army. Is like, we hated the mining cooperative, and we didn't like that they were shitting on Sleebran citizens. So there's a piece of me in the back that's saying, we should stick it to those guys. But I'm not a fighter. I'm a quartermaster. So
You do, however, have the ability to outfit these fighters with just about anything they might need. Also, you're really good at lying.
My character is currently coming up with the profit scheme. Once I figure that out, then I'll go to it with aplomb, basically, because can't enter a business can't enter an adventure scheme without a profit motivation. But there's a lot of Bennington there, and the king will probably be pretty happy that we dealt with this.
Favors are good. Almost better than money.
Yeah.
And that much favor with the king would make it much less suspicious if you started flaunting mysteriously acquired wealth.
Yeah. So this is what's going through my head right now.
All right, well, if you guys want to go ahead and do closing ceremony, hand out experience points, and we'll pick up next week with the course of action you choose. Got a whole week to think about it.
So yeah, I'd like to give one to Jackie for basically like the giant hand out of the door, just like I would like to parlay, and everyone's like, yes, whatever you say, just don't crush us for food or whatever it is. I'd like to give one to Eben for another amazing, just like using of his powers to get stuff done in the background. I'd like to give one to Echelon for all his great mutiny that he's been doing, and like just like pulling stuff out like Ashta, because Ashta always helps every situation. I'd like to give one to Rav for your stunning performance of mutiny and like anger. You're like we technically could leave right now, but you're like, but I just want to punch that. I don't want to go. I want to go swim out there and punch him in the face, just because that's I'm angry right now. Like to give one to Shifty for I know exactly how the dwarves are going and stuff are going to. TIA was going to like blow up the ships and at least help stop one ship from being blown up. And that's everyone.
Cool. I'll take a crack at it. Chris, for your background work with the potion swapping, cool stuff. We got to see kind of the outcome of that as well with the dudes that we were able to save. So hopefully that gives us any kind of edge we can take in this incredibly difficult final stage will be helpful. Ed, for your brilliant planting of Apthian totems, I think that was a really beautiful, like little.
Her computer crashed.
Oh no.
Did somebody else want to go while she's rebooting?
Sure. Yeah. So, ties for your necro ships. Those are surprisingly extraordinarily valuable. And sort of kept the treasure out. Viv for acting, which was rapidly replaced by not actually acting when ships started exploding. Like I'm very angry. And they're like, no, I'm legitimately now very very angry. And then Jackie for actually for not leaping and trying to attack the bone priest and getting yourself ripped apart. That was good restraint. Kristen's for stopping all the ships from exploding. And then Chris for assisting me in pinning the basically framing all these guys for being Apthian sympathizers, which we didn't really need to do because they were actually Apthian sympathizers. And I think actual Apthians in some cases. So it's complicated.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
So yeah, Ed, good job with the totems. Beautiful. Mutiny. Vivian, same thing. For being fake upset and then real upset. And I like to think that it's not even just that she's upset about the ships being exploded or the treasure set being incomplete. I think what Vivian really, what Vitala doesn't like is fucking losing. And she's like, fuck this guy. Like,
All right. Her computer crashed again, and now she is going to use mine.
I'm gonna flip a fucking table. Where was I? For Kristen, even though this was not a successful encounter, I love this sort of hanging thread between Barnabas and Jax, and just like this, they keep meeting each other and just missing each other, and Barnabas has just been fucking with him this entire time. But Jax does get the last laugh in this session because he got off scot fucking free with that amulet.
And I think that's just a really cool piece of storytelling. And then Tice for just MVP shit with the ships, with the necromantic ships that don't have bones on them. Really, really happy about the lack of bones on the ship. Yeah, point for that. And I think I got everyone. Finally, after 2 computer crashes.
All right, I will go. Point to Tice for being completely willing to just ship off with the treasure and leave the consequences. Um, I think that it's a really strong piece of character. It did make me wonder at one point if Avatala would try to wrestle control of the ships from you, which would not go well, but she might still try. Um, a point to Kristen for being so cocky with that amulet only to see it all come crashing down. Um, a point to Ed for just having this whole thing organized from the start, ingratiate the crew from, you know, a week before we even set sail, um, so that the crew all were on your side and were willing to listen to basically whatever you told them was the case. Um, a point to Chris for um, really organizing everything and organizing that fake stretcher move of the door that wasn't actually helpful in the end, but I really thought for a second that it it might be what saved that ship. And a point to Jackie for being um, just the incredible amount of restrained fury that must have gone through Rorak as she learned very quickly what the plan was of the Mind Cooperative. And frankly, I would not have blamed you a bit had you gone bad and sacrificed your character. But that's also Rorak's a good soldier, and she knows when to have a fight.
One of her traits is professional.
All right, I can go. Jackie for talking down the mining guild soldiers with your insight. Ed for always having Ash on hand and figuring out how to make the situations I put you in work. Viv for I liked your storytelling and ramping up of your anger. That was really nice. Kristen, I enjoyed Barnabas, who, as far as I can tell, for majority of this has been as low key as possible, and today decided to jump off the side of the ship with a rope and try to crash through a window to stop an explosion.
Hell yeah, that's right.
So, thank you for that.
It's James Bond shit, just straight up.
I'm just imagining like Barnabas picture, like this will totally work, and then just totally didn't work.
It's fine off the side.
Just wham, slides squeaking down the window. No, but in this case, he got thrown bodily from the ship with an explosion. So
Yeah. Yeah, and then Tice for all of your plans and stuff, and your pre-setup is just coming in clutch now. Everything that I'd forgotten, you've been on top of that the whole time. So now we have ships, we have explosives, we have treasure. So awesome job.
he's a good baker.
Mm-hmm.
That's why a baker's an important part of every crew.
The secret sauce.
Has everyone gone?
All right, I didn't get a chance to go yet. Point to Evatala for continuing to insist to dress the door as a pirate. That was great. And then point to Dasco for um, hesitantly getting on the door as a fake medical patient, even though you didn't want to. A point to Rorik for using words instead of might to convince folks that you're not a traitor, which is kind of out of character for Rorik.
I mean,
Well,
it's a little make Humby, you know.
yeah. Point to Tice for the epic ghost ships, and I have to second what other people said. We're very thankful that there aren't any bones on those ships. And a point to Chris for always figuring out how to use flashbacks in a really cool way and leveraging the different flashback abilities of each character. And I think I got everyone.
All right. I think that was everybody having a turn, right? Yeah, I gotta say, like, I'm not sure if you realized back when I asked you those questions about whether or not there'd be skeletons on your ships, Tice, if you were thinking in those terms or not. But it was definitely one of those things where I was just like, which way's he gonna go? So yeah, that's awesome. All right, I suspect that we are one either highly action packed or highly divvying up the treasure, depending on which way you guys go. Session away from completing this series.
Yep, and then we'll figure out what we can be doing after that.
Yep. So thank you all, and I will see you next week.